The Elizabethtown College baseball team heads to Clipper Magazine Stadium on Monday, April 25th for its annual exhibition game against the independent Atlantic League's Lancaster Barnstormers. Coached by 2005 Barnstormer and Atlantic League All-Star Cliff Smith, the Blue Jays are facing off against Lancaster County's professional ball club for the third year in a row. Admission to the game is free and concessions will be sold. We're asking students, alumni, and fans of the Blue Jays alike to come out and support the team on the Monday after Easter for an afternoon of fun and great baseball. First pitch is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. For more information and directions to Clipper Magazine Stadium, log on to www.etownbluejays.com. This is Matt Heffelfinger for etownbluejays.com. This morning I'm here with head baseball coach Cliff Smith. And Coach Smith, you're getting ready for a 3-game set with Messiah this weekend, but this morning I kind of want to take an opportunity to talk about a game you have coming up that won't count in the standings, and that is an exhibition game with the Lancaster Barnstormers of the Independent Atlantic League, and that is Monday, April 25th, the Monday after Easter. Can you talk a little bit about when this annual game started and how the opportunity came about for Elizabethtown College to get involved?
Well, we started this event a couple years ago. The Barnstormers approached us. They were looking to save some costs on their spring training rather than renting a facility down in Florida. They felt that they could do everything from a spring training perspective up here, and then they were looking for some exhibition games. And while they do play some Atlantic League teams that are local, they were also looking to get into the community a little bit more. They approached a couple local colleges about playing them. For us, it was a natural fit with me having played for them in 2005. So we were really excited when they offered us that opportunity, and we wanted to make sure that we made it an annual event.
Can you talk a little bit about the format that will be used during this exhibition game?
Right. What we've done in the past is our guys will use wood. The Barnstormers pitchers will throw for both sides. So for instance, last year when Tommy Herr was the manager, he threw guys against our team that he knew were going to make their team. So we got an opportunity to actually face about 4 big leaguers, guys that had big league experience. So that was a really good experience for our guys. And then what he did was he took the other pitchers he had on his roster who he thought were in the process of competing for spots on the team and pitched them against the Barnstormers and evaluated those guys. So it's a good experience. We usually play about 9 innings. Our guys get to hit, and we try to make sure that all of our position players get an opportunity to be on the field because Clipper Magazine is a beautiful stadium.
You just talked about trying to get all your players involved, at least position players, and you mentioned that Lancaster Barnstormers will throw their pitchers. Do your pitchers just come for the experience? Do they get an at-bat at all? Do they do anything? I know you still have Commonwealth Conference games following this. You got 2 weeks left after the game that you need to be prepared for. Sure. What do you do with your pitchers? Do they just...
Our pitchers just kind of come and hang out and enjoy the experience. They get an opportunity to kind of see how professional guys go about their business, kind of take a bird's eye view of what it takes to be a professional player and get to see kind of the different talent level. You're looking at a lot of guys that on the Barnstormers roster will have high minor league experience, if not major league experience, so they can kind of see what type of an athlete it takes to get to that point. We would like to get them in the game somehow, but we're not going to give them at-bats against professional guys. That would just be probably a little bit uncomfortable for them. But it's still a good experience for them, and realistically, we've got to save their arms for important games because this year we have both Juniata and Dickinson on Tuesday and Wednesday that week, and then we have a really big series against Lebanon Valley. So we got to make sure they're fresh for games that count.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that for the majority of your players, especially your position players, how valuable of an experience it is to play against competition like this. I know you mentioned there's been some former major leaguers, not only that come through Lancaster, but through the Atlantic League in general. One comes to mind this year for the Barnstormers is Matt Watson. He's a McCaskey graduate, played for the Oakland Athletics last year. Can you just talk about how the valuable experience that they gained just from this exhibition game?
Well, I think they see, number one, the difference in speed of the game. Like 2 years ago, Adam Shively led the country in stolen bases for us. And in the first inning, he got a base hit. He stole second, felt pretty good about himself. The next time he got on base on a walk, he got picked off. And it was interesting to watch because you could see it coming because, Adam was taking a Division III lead and he had a guy out there who had some sense of how to control the running game. And he kind of gave Adam his B+ move, and Adam kind of thought that was his A+ move, and then he came with the A+ move, and Adam was out by about a foot. They get to see that kind of thing, and then they also get to see, from a hitting perspective, the guys that get to hit against professional pitching, they get to see some plus stuff. Guys that we faced last year, a kid named Scott Patterson at the end of the game, who's a kid I played with when I was with Lancaster. He's had a cup of coffee with the Giants. He's 6'7", he throws 90 to 92. He spots up. He's got plus stuff. So they get an opportunity to see, here's a guy with unbelievable talent and has pitched in the big leagues, but he's only had one opportunity, 15 days, I think. And Scott's a great pitcher. So they get to see at that level, it really is the top 0.5% that get opportunities to get up there and stick, and I think that's a good experience for them.
And Kevin Scott Boyd Stadium is a pretty beautiful Division III facility, but going on this stage here, Clipper Magazine Stadium, Pennsylvania is known for some quality ballparks, both minor and major leagues, and this is certainly one of the newer ones and one that can be included in that group. Can you just talk about the opportunity to play on a field like this and at a stadium like this?
It's a good opportunity. We're very lucky to play every day on a beautiful ballpark, and not just the superficial stuff, but our surface is fantastic. So to go to Clipper Magazine, now you get that kind of that feel of having a giant grandstand, of having some character in the outfield fence. The kids get an opportunity because a lot of the Barnstormers season ticket holders will be there. So, a couple years ago, they took a couple chants from the season ticket holders and made them our own. So it's just a good atmosphere, and it's fun for the guys also from the perspective that they get to see a high level of talent and compete against it, but they also kind of have an exhibition in the middle of the season where they can kind of pull back on the reins. It's not as intense. It's a little bit looser of an atmosphere, and they can really just enjoy for a day, kind of pretend that they got an opportunity to play professional baseball and see what it's like.
Yeah, with this exhibition game, how much, you talked about a loose environment, how much does this help recharge the batteries and the guys for the final 2 weeks? It's going to be a tough push. You got Albright, 3 games set with them, conference play, and then you mentioned the one Lebanon Valley. That's the last weekend of the regular season. Does this game kind of help, just loosen everybody up and recharge the batteries for that push?
I think it depends on when we schedule the game. This year we've got a really advantageous schedule with it being on a Monday, that we don't have classes that day. It's at the start of the week. A couple years ago, we played it on a Thursday and going into our Widener series, and it just felt like the guys on Friday didn't have the same type of energy that they had. Not that it was a letdown to play Widener, because Widener's a great program and they're one of our rivals, but it's just a natural thing when you're in that environment and then you're coming back. I don't want to make, it's not similar, but it's kind of like, if a guy gets from the big leagues gets dropped down to Double A, it's just going to be a different feel right off the bat. So this year it's the perfect timing with it being on Monday, a day off. It's post-Easter break. We have a couple midweek games before our LVC series to kind of get back in the swing of things, get back into that intensity. So I think it's going to be a real good experience. And we kind of had a similar situation last year where it was scheduled earlier in the week, and we didn't have to go from that right into a heated contest like we did 2 years ago.
Well, we thank Coach Smith for joining us again. Exhibition game between the Elizabethtown College baseball team and the Lancaster Barnstormers of the Independent Atlantic League. This is part of the Lancaster Barnstormers 6-game spring training slate, and it's an off day for the school, so Monday, April 25th, right after Easter, we encourage everybody to come out and support the Blue Jays at a Clipper Magazine Stadium. For directions to Clipper Magazine Stadium and more information on this game, please log on to etownbluejays.com.